For vast majority of Egyptian Christians, they came to America due to persecution, not necessarily just for, convenience or that door naturally opened. It was just this natural pressure as the persecution continued to arise and still obviously exists in Egypt, as Islam is the predominant religion there. They wanted to make sure that they're setting their kids' life for having better success in America. So many of them moved in the 70s or even before that. So it grew exponentially from there. And I keep on saying Egyptian Christian because that's just their nationality. But I want to emphasize and moving forward, highlight that we are Coptic Orthodox Christians. And with those three words, Coptic Orthodox Christians, the emphasis is actually in the reverse order, that we are followers of Jesus first and foremost. Then from there, the version of Christianity, the version of us being a Jesus follower, what does that look like? That's through the Orthodox lens, which is the most ancient, organic version of Christianity. With all respect to any other version of Christianity, this is the fullness. This is the first century version of Christianity before it was diluted or distorted in any shape or form. The flavor of that Orthodox expression comes from Alexandria, Egypt. And this is where we get the word Coptic. Coptic just means Egyptian. So the emphasis is us being Christian, obviously. Orthodox is second, and then it being from Alexandria. So it then becomes Coptic Orthodox Christian. So just as there are different expressions of Orthodoxy from different countries, you have Russian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox, you name it, Indian Orthodox, the theology, the fullness of spirituality of Christianity is there. The fullness of that theology is there, but the expression of it is different. It's kind of, you can say that it's like ice cream, and then the topping of it might change depending on where you're coming, right? Some people like strawberry, some people like chocolate, you name it, right? So the essence of it is still ice cream. The essence of it is still this pre-denominational Christian worldview. That's orthodoxy. And the expression of that is Coptic.
And one of the things that, first of all, this is the book on the Incarnation by Saint Athanasius. He was again he influenced John Wesley. One of the things that I want to point out is that Coptic is the last of the Pharaonic languages, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that means this is the last known language that we have of the pharaohs. And so there is a link not to what we have in Egypt today, which is the Egyptians with Arab admixture, but this is pre-Arab, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, the history and richness of the Coptic language obviously goes back, as you mentioned, Odell, from the Pharaonic era. And of course, it has evolved. It's been influenced by different cultures and different people have come into Egypt. It has evolved, but it made a clear shift in the 6th century with the persecution of the Arab invasion. It came to the point where many of the Coptic Orthodox Christians' tongues were cut off if they spoke in Coptic, if they proclaimed their faith. So from there, it was a big shift in the language even becoming more diminished. So you might find rural places in Upper Egypt in which Coptic is still a common language, but it has, due to persecution, it has really put a shift on the liturgical expression of the church and the language, obviously, that it is now not a common language at all. Even it's what's common in the diaspora of the Coptic Orthodox Church and all the other countries outside of Egypt, it is not the most common language used liturgically. It's either going to be Arabic or English that you find, or whatever the native tongue is. Like, for example, I visited a couple of years ago the Coptic Orthodox Church in Zambia. They were using their native tongue. So Coptic was not even in the picture, the language itself, as far as in liturgy, it was not there. So from the 6th, 7th century, it made a big shift, and Coptic being more of our heritage, but not necessarily a language that was used either liturgically or paraliturgically outside of liturgy.